All right, we're back with Shaun King again to break down some film against the Washington Commanders in terms of Deshaun Watson. Not his best game by any metric, Shaun, and there were definitely some plays to be made, and I think as we'll see over the course of these 9 plays, some are there, and they're just not being made at the level and the frequency they have to be made to win at the NFL level.
Listen, playing this position at the NFL level consistently at a high level is extremely hard. But I used to do something when I coached quarterbacks. I'd take them in the basketball gym, and you generally got 4 to 6 quarterbacks in the room, and I evened it up on each side, and we go through the old basketball layup line. And I say, listen, if you can't make this layup, guess what? You can't play in the basketball game. I feel the same way, and it was an analogy, but it was one that I wanted them to feel in person. And I would tell them, when we got a clean pocket and we got an open receiver, it's got to be like that layup line. You've got to make the throw just like you would make the layup all the time. So early in this past weekend's game against the Commanders, where the Browns did not have a lot of success at all offensively, we can start to play from here. They did have a chance early in the first quarter. It's about 6:21 in the first quarter. Nice play action pass. Pause it. Pass protection is excellent. Look at that pocket. That's exactly how you draw it up. He's got Amari Cooper coming on a little return kind of corner over route here, and does a great job of getting open if we can play it from here. When you got a clean pocket and that guy's open, you gotta make your layups, and that's one thing that's like really, really frustrating watching Deshaun. If you can pause it there, I mean that's a clean pocket. He's a little late. I don't like the extra hitch there, but when your receiver in this league has this kind of separation and you have that kind of pocket, we can play it from here. You got to make these throws, Deshaun. You got to make these throws.
Later in the first quarter, Shaun, the Browns facing a 3rd and 10. This play in particular has got a lot of run on social media because to the mere casual observer's eyes, guys look to be open and Deshaun decides to scramble. You're here to tell us from the expert perspective, are these guys really open, and is that a throw Deshaun has to make, or did he make the right decision to scramble?
Well, let's first of all say 3rd and long. Boy, this third and 10 is 3rd and long. Not advantageous situation for the offense, but I do want to highlight some particular things here. You see the first down marker there at the top right. So I want you to use that as a measuring stick for where Cleveland has to get to be successful. So we can snap the ball from here. As a quarterback, you know you're either going to get pressure or you're going to get coverage on 3rd down. So if we stop it here, if you look at 7 of the Commanders' defenders are almost already past the yard needed to gain. So John Gruden used to always say, when you get these situations, I want you to keep that upfield shoulder high, make it look like you're going to throw the ball vertically down the field all the time with the intention of throwing a firm, accurate ball to the check down and then let him earn his paycheck. A lot of times, if you can just get him an accurate, firm ball, he'll make one guy miss and pick up a first down in these situations. You look back at the pocket's clean. Now, I'm going to do a quick start and stop here. We can start it right quick, Mike, and then stop it there. Now, you see the check down is starting to turn his head around. I want you to notice the defender at the top left of the W. He's still in his back pedal. What Deshaun has to see in this situation, clean pocket, don't lose control. Stay calm when everything's chaotic. Stay in your progression. Put a firm ball. I think that's Pierre Strong on Pierre and let Pierre make his money. Deshaun starts to scramble. If we can forward it from here. And all that does is a lot of times clouds the field because now all of the defenders are working in that direction. So it's just a situation where the pocket was clean. It wasn't a good spot for the offense. But right here, Deshaun's got to take one more hitch and put this ball firmly on Pierre Strong, and then Pierre's got to get the extra 3 yards from there to make a first down, which I think he would have.
Deshaun didn't throw any interceptions against the Commanders, but if you read the PFF turnover-worthy throws, there were a couple of them, and Shaun, this one stands out as no harm, no foul because it fell incomplete, but this could have been a catastrophic play for the Browns offense.
Yeah, this isn't the easiest coverage to read, but the one option that Deshaun chooses is the one that, to me, should be the absolute no-fly zone. This looks like a 5-man umbrella coverage that the Commanders are playing, but everybody heard about it. I was there to witness it. The old Tampa 2, right, where you play old school cover 2 and you run the Mike linebacker down the middle of the defense, where Washington's playing a hybrid version of that. The adjustment they made? Instead of starting the Mike in the box, they're starting him at the 15-yard line. You see that guy highlighted right there? He's there to take away the inside seam route, which is something that's very tough in Tampa 2 to cover. So if we can roll it from here, Deshaun has to see this look. Pause it right there. I mean, he's got to see that safety, right? And think about old Tampa, too. Remember Hardy Nickerson and those guys from the mic running, trying to catch up with this seam route? Well, all Washington did was said, you know what? We're going to give our Mike an advantage. We're going to start him deep. And this is one that Deshaun gets very, very lucky not to have intercepted. And it's one he'll probably learn from when he sees it on film.
Is this something of reading a defender differently, Shaun, or is this something of pre-snap that he has to be aware of?
Pre-snap, you've got to think something's up because it looks like they're playing some form of 3 cloud or 5 umbrella. And when that safety doesn't run into the box, he's almost playing like a deep robber. But again, he's there to take this specific route away in Tampa 2, that inside seam route by the number 2 receiver. So it's a tough look, but it's one, as Deshaun ever sees it again, what he'll probably do is get backside to that check down.
This Browns offense has lacked an explosive passing game all season, Shaun. And when I see this play, I see what I think could be a potential big-time connection between Deshaun Watson and Jerry Jeudy. It ends up being a check down to Elijah Moore. Is it open? Is that a throw that he needs to let rip, or did he make the right decision here to dump it off to Moore?
Well, it has the potential to be a big play, but, I mean, Cleveland's playing 10 on 11 a lot of times. No offense to the big fella, but DeJuan Jones, come on, man. Big number 79, you are not very good at the game of football currently. And I want you to highlight Cleveland's right tackle here, and then I'm going to show you why he's the reason that this does not have a chance to be an explosive play. We can run it from here. Good concept here from Coach Stefanski. I mean, that's awful by 79. But if you pause it here, here's the problem. Because DeJuan loses so fast, that colors in Deshaun's face. And if you look at the corner from the Commanders up top and the safety, that's not a good radius to try and fit that ball in there. The top safety is high enough so you can't throw it up the field. And that corner, you see how his shoulders are turned to the receiver? He can very easily continue to get depth and make that a tough throw. So this is one where I thought Deshaun had a chance to make a big play if the protection was better, but I thought he did a good job of just finding a completion here.
And when you see the replay from the back end, DeJuan Jones has to do a better job of keeping his quarterback clean. There's no way this should get through so quickly.
Yeah, this is bad. His kick is, oh, man, it's too lateral. It should be more horizontal. He's not playing well at all in any phase of the game. Pass protection, run blocking. I mean, he doesn't even run off the field effectively currently.
There are a few throws throughout the game, Shaun, that Deshaun looks like vintage Deshaun. I thought this was one of them where he kind of thread the needle on a 21-yard gain to Amari Cooper, which set the Browns up in the red zone. And we'll talk about the red zone plays in a sec, but they got into the red zone because of this big-time throw.
You know, it's interesting because this is why the frustration level is so high for the fan base, and I'm sure a lot of people inside the organization. You know, when he's fundamentally correct, he can throw the ball and locate the football with some of the best quarterbacks in this league. Now, this isn't a 20-yard throw down the field, but this is one where he has to anticipate Amari Cooper being in the second window and make a firm, accurate throw that gets in the ball in front of the safety. So if we can roll it from here, I don't love that his eyes go to Amari right off the rip and he's standing down, but look at that throw. He anticipates, gets past the underneath coverage, puts the ball, and the ball maintains the location inside Amari's frame. So he's not extending his arms, and he can brace for this hit. But if Deshaun could just do that all the time, I think Cleveland has a chance to be successful. And listen, I get it. The fan base is frustrated because they feel like they just don't see that enough.
So the Browns get into the red zone. They have a false start penalty that pushes them back to the 7-yard line. And, well, I don't really have words for this one, Shaun, so I'm just going to let you explain to us what happened.
So here's what's interesting. Obviously, Coach Stefanski thought that he was going to get man coverage. When you run these crossing routes and the wide receiver runs out the backside of them, that's generally for man to man. You see it all the time. The DB's trying to cover the crossing route, and he gets picked by his own player. He's trying to finagle his way through traffic. Well, here's what makes this tough for Deshaun is this boundary corner. And so if they're in the left hash, the left side of the field is the boundary. This corner stays home. So a lot of people are going to look at this like he should have thrown the ball to Jerry Jeudy. My interpretation of this is if it's truly a crossing route, then Jerry Jeudy should have sat this down in the open window. If they're running some kind of over-pick play, then Washington just had the right call. But either way, I thought Deshaun was under a real handicap here as far as being able to read this. If we can play it from here, and I'm going to tell you to stop it. If you stop it here, so it looks like Judy's open here, right? But this corner's sitting here. So he didn't follow the crossing route. So if Deshaun leads this ball, you see Judy's hands, like he can try and fit this in a tight window. And I'm not making excuses for Deshaun. I'm just saying this is a tough read for the quarterback because you see that color. And the last thing you want to do here is throw an interception. So I can understand Deshaun's hesitancy here. And what I'm saying, if it's truly a crossing concept, then Judy should be sitting this down at the goal line right here, making this an easy throw.
Sean, Brian Baldinger broke down this play and said that throws the essential NFL version of a layup. You don't buy that.
I don't buy it because I'm thinking when you look at it conceptually, if it's a true crossing route, he should be sitting that down. If that's two over routes, and if we can go back a little bit from the end zone, and you'll get a kind of better look.
You tell me when to stop it. I'll let it play from the end zone right now.
And you see, I want you to stop it right there. I mean, now, it looks like he's about to come right over. You look at 11, and then you look at 54, but from the quarterback's vantage point, what no one sees is off to the right side of the screen here is another corner. So it's easy in hindsight to look at some of these windows and be like, he should have anticipated it. But this is an extremely, extremely cloudy look for the quarterback. If you could let it play a little bit more, okay, right there, it looks like, okay, boom, he should have seen that. But that's a tough look. And Baldy's good at what he does. I'm just saying from the quarterback's prism, I would expect Judy to sit that down, or I could understand why Deshaun was hesitant because of the backside corner.
Okay, Sean, on the next play, we saw arguably Deshaun's best of the entire game. Evades pressure, fires a dot to Jerry Jeudy, and, well, Jeudy dropped it. The Browns just can't get everyone on the same page on one play in a single game, but this has to be encouraging knowing there's still glimpses of the old Deshaun in there somewhere. They just got to find it more consistently.
You know, the hardest thing when you're facing a whole lot of negativity is to find positive energy. And I'm a foodie, Mike, and it's like if somebody is in your kitchen and they burn the fried chicken, only one person is responsible for burning it, but guess what? The stench gets everywhere. It's in your sofa. It's in your clothes. Like, that's what's going on in Cleveland. They're having so much trouble finding any kind of consistent success that when the opportunities present themselves, they're just not making them. They need a whole makeover. Maybe take the whole team to church or something, Stefanski. Go get the good word. If we play this here, again, this is Deshaun showing another flash of what he can be. Come on, buddy. Why don't you do it more often? But great job stepping up in the pocket, evasive, gets outside the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, dart to Jeudy.
Got to catch it. You see it from the backside.
Got to catch it.
Got to catch
what Judy's really frustrated about? I may not get this opportunity for another 6 games, and I just blew the one that I had. Listen, there's some bad mojo going on in Cleveland right now, but hey, this is where you really make your money. This is where you got to really stand 10 toes down when everybody's against you and find a way to bounce back this week and get a win.
The Browns' lone turnover in this game, Sean, came on a strip sack. This one, it's on the quarterback. Tell us why.
Well, here's what happens. When it rains, it pours, right? So I demonstrated earlier DeJuan Jones not being a proficient pass protector at this point in the season. You can't see ghosts at the quarterback position. You can't assume pressure's there. You have to be calm when it's chaotic. When everything around you is falling apart, the great ones are able to still find calmness and execute. And this sack fumble is a byproduct of Deshaun not being able to remain calm when everything's chaotic. If you can run it from here, I want to highlight something. Great play action. We get to the top of the drop, pause it, one more hit right there. Okay, this is a clean pocket, right? There isn't any pressure here. If you look at the 35-yard line, it's got a receiver coming on a crossing route that's open. If you look deeper, people talking about not having explosive plays, I think that's Jerry Jeudy right there on the 22-yard line, and that's a clean pocket. This is what I mean when I say calm amongst chaos. It's been a rough game for Deshaun. They haven't had anything go right on offense, yet you still got to be able to stand back there, go through your progressions. When it's a clean pocket, you know, I call these layups, right? We play it from here. Both these guys are open. Come on, number 4, deliver that football. He decides to try and run and make it on his own. His ball security's bad in the pocket. All of a sudden, it results in a turnover. But if we can freeze it right there, that's a good pocket. Guys are open. Make the throw.
Sean, it'd be disingenuous if we didn't include a little breakdown of Deshaun's lone touchdown from this game. 4th down, got to have it. And Deshaun delivered.
I'll be honest with you. If I'm Kevin Stefanski, I'm not showing any other game but this play. Like sometimes, man, you play so bad, you know what? You just got to go ahead and burn that. You put it with the disposable garbage. I don't care what day the garbage guy come, you go to the dump. And you put all of it in the dump and then find a reason to try and get the guys excited for next week. And what I'd harp on here was the fact that, okay, it's late in the fourth quarter. We're getting our butt beat. We still got our starters in the game. And guess what? They're executing. Why can't we do this from the first play of the game on? If we could run it here, this is a really good throw by Deshaun. It's a great play by Atkins here. And we're going to see from the end zone, he's not really open, but you hear the terminology, throwing a receiver open. That's what Deshaun does here. If you look at this look, I mean, that's not really open, right? But a great throw can beat great coverage 100% of the time. So outside of the fact that all the fantasy owners that started David Njoku are trying to figure out where the hell he is at this time in the game, this is an excellently executed play by the Browns offense.